Incoming transmission. I want to add the Den Den Mushi ringtone to my actual phone, you know, just to have it on there. And the way I planned on doing it is have like 3 rings, because I want it when I pick up the phone, I want it to do that click, you know, I want to do it to that. So what I'm going to have to do is make a custom ringtone of the Den Den Mushi, have it be like 3 or 4, you know, rings, like and then I have to answer it on the 3rd one, like click, and then I answer the phone. Gonna have to do something like that, but I could do it. It's not impossible. Then again, I'm not receiving a lot of phone calls, you know, pretty much just my parents or my family that call me, you know, on the phone. So yeah. Hello, Mr. Teching 101. Can't seem to see your review. I should have it up. I just checked and it's public, so I don't know. I don't know about that one. I couldn't really tell you. Can't seem to see your review. Yeah, it should be up. I don't think there's a problem. Like, I just woke up a little while ago, so am I just going to immediately see, like, she's like, oh, review got blocked all over the world. No, review's up. Review's good. All right, no restrictions. Okay. So, yeah, that might be an issue on your end. Sorry about that, man. Was a good impression on the Din Din. Yeah. Someone pick up the damn snail! Yeah. I meant can't wait. Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, go. Yeah, oh, yeah. Are you like you're waiting until the. Yeah, a lot of people do that. They'll like wait until the actual chapter's released before they watch the review. That's like another thing, yeah. 5 elders blocking access to the review. They're like, no one can see. You know how the way Oda could have really done that really well is everybody that saw St. J. Garcia Saturn in the Shonen Jump magazine, their heads explode. You know, I'd be like, that's how you know this is a serious manga. That's how you know this is not to be messed with, you know? Do you think Sanji will be used as a hype tool for Saturn? I think Sanji and Frankie, unfortunately, are going to have that position because, and I think I know why Oda did this, because it's like, okay, we need to have a showcase of power for the Gorosei. We need to see how powerful they are. If Sanji can just kick Saturn in the neck and then kill him in one hit, not going to be all that threatening. So, and we already saw that with Sabo. You got to remember, Sabo got a sneak attack on all of the Gorosei. They didn't know he was there, all right? Sneak attack on the Gorosei, fire fist right in the face, all right? And they were like, fine, perfectly fine, not even injured, not even really perturbed, honestly. So they're able to take a point-blank surprise round fire fist with no real damage. And then Bonney was able to stab Garcia, and we saw blood. But, I mean, come on now. I mean, that might not even be blood for as far as we're concerned. That might just be, like, black goo or something. That might just be like, blah, 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 like, and the goo comes out and grabs Bonney and like, oh, God! And then Sanji has to show up and, like, save her. Like, what's going on here? Will you do Horoween this year? I don't know. The last couple of years, whenever I decide to do Horoween, it's always last minute, like in the week before. I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, though. I've used up a lot of the good ideas for Horoween already. You think Bonney will die? No, I don't think Bonney will die, but this attack's not going to do shit to Saturn. Will you be making a Saturn video ability? I'll be making a video, like, yeah. I don't know if it'll be a video, like, I guess I could just do it now because we do know what he looks like. Yeah, I guess I could do that next week. Gorosei have fans now. Gorosei have fans now. If you told me a few years ago that we would be debate how strong these odd farts are, I wouldn't believe it. Really? Okay. Like, here's the thing with the Gorosei. Like, I never assumed they were weak. I never assumed they were just, like as a One Piece theorist guy, you have to kind of keep, like, everything on the table. But there's some theories that I always put way more stock into than others. So, you know, I might have said at some point, like, I guess it's possible the Gorosei are just a bunch of old dudes, because you have to consider that possibility. But did I want them to be just that? Like, no, because that's not really interesting or fun to me. It's like, it's One Piece. You know, we find out that the people that are the 5 rulers of the world are just a bunch of regular dudes that, like, Usopp could kill in one attack. One exploding star, just like, oh, my hip! You know, like, that's not, you know, I mean, there's something you can maybe do with that, but that's kind of like what the Tenryubito are. The Tenryubito control the world, and, you know, they're pretty weak. So the Gorosei themselves, I was always on the fence about them being immortal, though. That's the thing. I always imagined it was something like with Führer Bradley from Full Metal Alchemist, where at a young age, like, a bunch of these orphans were thrown into, like, an education center and were, like, taught to be super soldiers and trained and experimented on. And then eventually, like, and then they have to eventually fight all of them, like, each other, like, all their friends. And then the one that comes out alive is like, all right, you're the next king of Amestris, you know. So that's like how King Bradley was. So I thought that was kind of the thing with the Gorosei. They would hand select a few different types of Tenryubito, throw them in like a specific school to learn about politics and the world and everything, and then they would fight each other. And then the 5 that are the strongest become the Gorosei. So I never thought that. I was always on the fence about them being immortal gods or something like that. But I always thought, because, like, you know, Samurai Gandhi had the Shodai, and I'm like, all right, he probably knows how to use that. You know, I don't think, you know, Oda's going to give the Shodai Kitetsu to a guy that doesn't even know how to use a sword. So, like, I always thought they could fight. Do you think Bonney is a clone? That's why they call her a little girl. You know, I don't know why I didn't realize that until recently, because I'm like, wait a minute, yeah, since we're going into clone piece now, everybody's a clone. Stussy's a clone, and Weevil's probably a clone, and Kuma's probably a clone. Everybody's a clone. That's what we find out at the end of the story. You know, this exact story happened 900 years ago, and everyone's just a clone reenacting everything else out right now. But no, Bonney being a clone, sure, why not? I mean, you know, we know Kuma and Bonney went to Egghead like 20 years ago. Maybe she was cloned there. Who knows? When's the next Pokemon Let's Play? You know, it's funny you bring that up. So, there is, I think Smith plays Pokemon, right? Like, let me just double check, because I haven't been following him for that long. But he just released, he's been working on this new version of Pokemon Crystal for, yeah, Smith plays Pokemon, you know? And, super popular guy. And that's not even his main channel. That's like a side channel he has. But he made a thing called Crystal Legacy, which he went back through the Crystal Gen 2, and he basically, he didn't add anything new to it. He didn't, like, add Gen 6 Pokemon to it, or new moves, or, like, the special physical split or anything. He just made the game better. And so I really want to play it, because Crystal Gen 2 is my favorite gen in general. And I've played Crystal before on the channel, but it was a while ago. It was back in, like, 2000 and, like, oh god, I played Crystal in, like, I think 2016. I think it was one of the first, like, Pokemon Let's Plays I did. It was right around the time YouTube Live started to become a thing. Like, because YouTube Live didn't always exist. That was because of Twitch. Twitch happened, and then YouTube was like, write that down, you know? Do you think Ethan Barron is a better swordsman than Mihawk? No, I think Mihawk is still pretty adamantly the greatest swordsman in the world, but Ethan Barron probably has a bunch of weird-ass, like, magic Satan powers to kind of, like, balance it out. But I think Mihawk could still beat him. Shanks' hot sister is same level with Gorosei. I'm for that. I'm going for that. Anything, if you have, listen, if you have a message that has Shanks' hot sister in it, I'm gonna read it, okay? You know, like, that's how it goes. You just gotta start the sentence with Shanks' hot sister, and then we'll be good. What do you think about the Saturn being the Oni Oni no Mi type zone? Like Oni is a race in the One Piece already. Like, yeah, that's fine. But I really want the Gorosei's powers to be something unique and different. I don't want it to just be like, this is the, Oni Oni no Mi model Ushi Oni. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine, but I really want them to be something even better than that. I want them to be like, they're the reason devil fruits have the name devil fruits. They're the originators of devil fruits. They were the original actual straight up devils. Like, there's a hell. There's a demon realm in the One Piece, universe, and they're from it, and they came into our dimension, and they made the goddamn fruits. Like, that's what I want it to be. I don't want it to just be a normal mythical zone. And the reason for that is, like, we just had Wano, okay? And Wano, I love Wano, but that was pretty much nothing but zones were in Wano. We had mythical zones, we had ancient zones, we had artificial zones. Luffy turned out to be a mythical zone. Like, so many zones. And I'm like, I like zones, and, like, the mythical idea is fine, but, like, it's like, all right, now the Gorosei are showing up in Egghead. Ooh, what are their powers? Get ready for it. Mythical zones! I'm like, God, okay. This is like, can we see something like a little bit stronger than that? Okay. Now, we don't want magic. No, fuck you. I want magic. I want magic in my One Piece. Dude, One Piece is so good because Oda has thrown every single trope in this story at some point, and he's always made it stick. If you would have told me, 10 years ago, like, time travel in One Piece, I'd be like, oh, that's never gonna work. It's like, so Oda can throw, like, any number of, like, tropes at a wall and make it work, and it's just like, you know what? He's like, oh, giant robots, and One Piece is a mech anime now. I'd be like, okay. Just like, yeah. I think the Knights also have Warrior God title, and the Gorosei Knights make up Eames' cabinet. It would feel weird if there's only 5 departments in the world government. I'm sure there's other departments of the world government, but they're subsidiaries. Subsidiaries, is that the correct term? They're ancillary to the 5 departments that Saturn and Ethan, Jupiter, Topman, and who was the last one? Hold on, no, I got this. All right, Ethan Barron. Who am I forgetting? Okay, now I'm not looking at the chat. Ethan Barron was Samurai Gandhi. Saturn was Defense. Did I just miss Saturn? I think I might have just missed Saturn. Yeah, I didn't say Saturn. Okay, no, you're fine. But yeah, I think there's other departments under there. You know what I mean? Like, like you have, and I even did videos about this where I looked into all of the different positions that they had. So, like, in the case with the agriculture god, which is oh no, that's the one I'm missing. Marcus Mars. That's Marcus. I missed Marcus. Yeah. So when Marcus Mars, the lanky dude with the beard, he runs the Department of Agriculture, I think, right? And so, or no, that was Jupiter. Environment. He runs environment. Okay. There's so many different sections under environment. You know what I mean? That could include. It doesn't just have to be like, I care about the trees. It could be like national parks and natural resources and things like minerals and ore and fossil fuels and stuff like that. The environment, other inroads of energy and stuff like that. Some departments encounter other departments, right? Like, if you even just, and if you can even look this up, look at like the U.S. Department of, because I was doing research for this when I was making the video. And, like, if you just look up, like, I'm just going to go to Wikipedia and type in, like, the U.S. Department of Energy, or I'll use Department of Environment. I guess, well, we don't have the Department of the Environment. I'll just use energy. It's fine. The United States Department of Energy. Okay. But that includes a bunch of other stuff under that, right? It deals with energy production, energy conservation, nuclear power, military stuff. It's not just one thing. And then the U.S. Department of Agriculture has a bunch attached to it. Of agriculture. That includes the Food and Nutrition Service, Supplemental Nutrition Assistant Program. The United States Forest Service is connected to that. So yeah, there's a bunch of other like subsets of it. The Monopoly guy. No, I said Top Man. Top Man is the Monopoly guy. I said Top Man. I'm Top Man. I zoned out, and we're just talking about nuclear power now. Yeah, well, you could go back and watch the part you missed. I heard a theory that Bonney could age Brook back. What do you think? I don't think she could, because when Bonney ages people back, it doesn't return things that they lost. Okay, so like when Bonney aged Jinbei back to a child, Jinbei still had the scar on his face. That scar wasn't there when he was a kid. He got that scar later in life, and so the scar was still there. If Bonney aged Shanks back to a child, she could do that, but Shanks would still be missing the arm. Shanks wouldn't regrow an arm. Okay? And I think the same thing would happen with Brook. Brook would turn into a smaller skeleton, but he would still be a skeleton. I think that's how it would work. Let's see. Do you think Bonney can make Luffy's Gear 5th incredibly godly? Why? How? Like, just with her abilities? Like, see, here's the thing. Like, when she uses her power, she doesn't, like, age people up to make them stronger. It's very different from, and I think the reason why Oda is making that distinction is because of Shinobu's ability, where Shinobu's mature fruit ages people up to the age that, you know, whatever she wants. However, they can't go back. They can't change. All right? But in exchange for that, you know, when she ages up Momonosuke has the body that he would have had at age 28. Okay? Like, that's how it would work. Now, Bonney could use her powers to turn Momonosuke back into a kid, but it would only be temporary, and he would go back. Like, he can't permanently go back to being a kid anymore. He essentially skipped over his whole life. Yeah. Big fan from Mexico. Do you think Makino's baby will play a big role in the future, or Luffy's mom, or any other mom like Odin's? Oda doesn't like to have moms in the story, and Oda's actually come out and said that the reason why he doesn't have a lot of characters have a mom is, well, when your mom is alive, then you would just be hanging out at home in a happy little, like, village, and there wouldn't be an exciting story if your mom is still alive. Let's think about this, honestly. This is a very, very common trope in not just anime, but fiction in general. But as to answer your question, I don't think Makino's baby is going to be really relevant. I think we are going to find out who the dad is at some point. We're going to find out who the dad is. Shanks. We're going to find out who the dad is. And then I think there's going to be at the end of the story, when there's like an epilogue, there's like 10 years in the future or something like that, we'll probably see Makino's baby like on the shore of Fuchsia Village at like age 10, like, I want to be a pirate, you know, and that might be like how the story ends. Like, it's another kid that's being, you know, inspired by, this time, Luffy to go out and be king of the pirates. You know, I think Makino's baby is going to be that kid. Yeah, I think that's going to be the Luffy of a next generation. Shanks' hot girlfriend is Makimo. Makimo confirmed? Makimo? Oh, yeah. We see a mom in the story, though. No, we see moms in the story, but I'm talking about a trope of usually the main cast, particularly the main character, the mom is not around, or the mom is kind of like gone. Unless you're talking about Dadan, where, yeah, Dadan is essentially Luffy's, like, not stepmother. Yeah, I guess stepmom would be the appropriate, yeah. You know, the closest thing to a mom Luffy has is Dadan. But yeah, Luffy left, you know what I mean? Who knocked up Makino? Probably Shanks. I mean, I'm assuming Shanks. I mean, but then again, I guess it might not be, you know, because Shanks is out traveling. Yeah. But no, seriously, let's think about this really quick. Luffy doesn't have a mom. I mean, they have moms, but they're not around, okay? Luffy, no mom. Ichigo, no mom. Asta, no mom. Naruto, no mom. Moms might appear at some point in the story, like in Naruto. Yeah, Naruto eventually meets Kushina at some point. Meets her, sure. But they're not around in their lives anymore. Most of their lives, no mom. All right? Let's see. Warrior God is a bit tacky. I prefer Godhead. I agree with that, too. It also sounds like a really awesome 80s band name. Probably is an 80s band name. Have you guys listened to Godhead? That actually probably is a real band name. I'm not even exaggerating. It probably is. One Piece has become a battle between God and hell to save humanity, freeing their souls from eternal damnation. For 800 years of all souls went to hell. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go with that. Deku. Yeah, you're right. Izuku has a fucking mom. All right. Oh, good job. You know what I've always loved about, and I don't want to get off on a tangent because we are supposed to be talking about One Piece here. At least for like the first 30-40 minutes of the live stream, we should be talking about One Piece. Give me some questions about One Piece, but I'm gonna make a note. I want to circle back to the Izuku thing. All right. I'm gonna circle back to the Izuku thing. 'Cause I was thinking about this the other day, and there's something I really want to bring up about that. He doesn't have a dad, though. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about, all right? But we'll circle back to that. Ash has a mom. You're right. Fantastic. Actually, Ash has a mom and a dad, because I'm assuming Professor Oak. Yeah. Imagine Zoro using one of his blades to chop a tree and slices the devil fruit, which sword gains the devil fruit ability, and which is it? Probably the Watto. I would assume the Watto would get the devil fruit power. Like, it was mentioned in an SBS that Zoro's swords would get the Uanomi model Seiryu, the Azure Dragon that Kaido has. I would like the Watto to get it. What other yokai could the Gorosei be? So that's going to be the focus of a whole other video that I'm doing this coming week, because now we know that one of the Gorosei is very clearly reminiscent of a yokai. So you could look up Bakemono no E, which is a scroll that existed in Japan in the Edo period that was drawn. It was basically a bunch of illustrations of yokai. Now, yokai have existed in Japanese lore for thousands of years, okay? And in the Edo period, though, somebody actually sat down and drew a bunch of what they look like, illustrations, and we still have that today. We have this scroll to this day. So let me just give you, I'll just put it up here on screen, the Bakemono list. Yeah, look at this. So, yeah, this is a guy. I called this guy Hairy Nipples in the review. We got Hairy Nipples. We got this thing that looks like Pac-Man to me, Akaguchi. We do know a lot. We do know the basic shapes of the Gorosei when they go into their form. Hold on a moment. Hold on a second. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Amazon Lily volume cover is my favorite. It's the best one. There's so much going on here. All right, so look, we got the outlines, right? Now, this one right here that looks like the Scream, this one is Jupiter, I think. And I think I saw a yokai that looked very similar to this one. And it's this guy right here. This guy, Nupepopo. Is a yokai in Japanese folklore. Its name is derived from the Japanese word nuperi, which means flat-faced or dazed expression. It is a large fleshy blob with saggy lumps taking on the form of arms and legs and fat wrinkles that resemble eyes, nose, and a mouth. In addition to looking like a lump of meat, Nupepopo also has a pungent odor and smells like rotting corpses. It usually stays in the dark, secluded areas such as mountain ridges, abandoned temples, unpopular streets and alleys. I thought that one looked kind of cool. Thank you so much for thanks Jack for banning that guy. With Saturn's devil fruit, remember when everyone thought Yamato was a Kirin, and then Oda disproved it in the very next chapter? I think it's Gyuki, but just saying. Yeah, it could be. I mean, there's a lot of yokai that look like giant spiders. It's kind of a thing. Yeah. Let's see here. We got a lot of these. Wow. Nuri Botoke. Yamabiko. There's so many weird ones. Inugami. Yurei, and Umibozu. That's like a sea devil. Those have been referenced before in One Piece, actually. Oh, this too. Mehito Subo means Buddhist priest with one eye. Everything about his appearance is like a normal priest, except for the fact he just has one eye. You can't even really tell. And then there's the Yoshioni next to him. And then the Yuki Onna, the snow woman. Yeah. Oh, look at this thing. Oh, I want this to be Mars. I think this could be Mars. Mars turns into a giant bird-looking thing. Yeah, look. Mars is this weird bird-looking thing. Kamikiri are yokai that have insect-like characteristics. Oh, okay, I guess it's an insect. But they also have long beaks that look like birds. It's like an insect bird. Scissor-like hands known to cut an unsuspecting victim's hair off. Oh, God, they slice your hair. Yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, you could look it up yourself, but there's a lot of... I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to say thank you in advance for all the people that are going to say God bless you, but there's a lag, so... Yeah. All right. Bird-sized insects. Yeah, that's scary. Actually, think of birds crossbred with insects. That actually is kind of terrifying. Like, picture like a vulture except with praying mantis features. That's scary. All right, so there you go. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes. I sneezed. Look at 17. It looks like a... Oh, I closed it out. Hold on, let me pull it back up again. Look, number 17, all right. Number 12 is just like you. Oh, yeah, the Nuri Botoke. Yokai that resembles an animated corpse. Pitch black color and its droopy, dangling eyeballs. Oh, yeah, that does kind of look like Eam. Lacquered Buddha. Also, if you read the way that you can read Eam, it kind of resembles the kanji. It's written in, I think, katakana, but the way that it looks in katakana is similar to the way that Buddha is written in kanji. So, yeah. All this yokai talk just reminds me of Nurihiho no Mago, Rise of the Yokai Clan. Good series. Never heard of it. You messed my super chat. No, I didn't, because YouTube actually has this brand new feature that's pretty handy. Which one? It's up here. Yeah, check it out. I could go super chats only now. Isn't that neat? It took them that long to install that feature, but whatever. I'm all right with it. If the Warlord system were to return, who are your picks for a completely new 7? Oh, boy. Oh, man. You know what? Immortal Slime. Thank you. You just gave me a video idea. And I will credit you in the video. Immortal Slime. Because every now and then I'll see a comment that's like, oh, I can't answer that right here because that's going to require way too... I'm going to have to stop for like a half an hour and think about this. So that means that's a video idea. New Warlord system. That's not bad though. Building a new 7 Warlords from like people we've already met in the story. That's cool. I might look into that. Yeah. Thank you. Ethan Barron reminds me of Nuri Hion. I gotta check this out apparently. R.I.P. Ace, Whitebeard, Bellamere, Kuina, all in hell. Yes, that's true. They're all coming back, and there's going to be a hell arc of One Piece. Yes, the One Piece, new breaths from hell, One Piece. Yeah, but yeah, we'll go back to the top chat or the live chat. Live chat. There we go. TFS Vegeta. He is no longer an ordinary chatter. He has risen and gone beyond. You also missed mine a bit further back. Yeah, I could do that. I have the... It's so weird they took them that long to make the tab just to do super chat pages. Yeah, Warrior God's a bit tacky. First super on a stream. Thanks, Pui Pui. What's your thoughts on some of the light novel Devil Fruits? Hey, JL. Some of them are way too OP for my taste. Light novel Devil Fruits. Yeah, trying to think of a good one here. Light novel Devil Fruits. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with... I know the Ace light novel. I've read that one. Let me go back to this so I don't forget. Also, I think a kid is a death sentence. Mufasa, Odin, Roger should have been worrying about Shanks. You know, it's like passing the will. Yeah. I'm going to get back to that in a moment because I want to talk about something about that. Light novel Devil Fruits. Yeah, there are some. It's just that I don't remember a lot of them at the moment. I know a lot of, like, Tekking's pushing 30. I'm already 30, so I'm 30 and a half now, actually. Because it's, I was born in April, and that's now October, so I'm getting pretty close to halfway. Yeah. Apis. Yeah, Apis was, no, I don't even think Apis was a broken devil fruit. Apis is just, she could talk to animals, which I think is a pretty standard One Piece ability. Chopper could do that for free. He doesn't even need... He kind of got that as a bonus with the Hito no Mi. Let's see. Brook joking with the Gorosei would be OP. Any of the Straw Hats joking with the Gorosei would be hilarious. Tekking's pushing 40. Yeah, I am. I'm getting up there. Aren't you 34? Oh, yeah, I'm 34 in Isekai D&D. I'm getting older. Chopper's in the corner, like, I could just do that, yeah. Thanks for the first super chat from Lee. In 3 pages, Luffy was back to normal after Bonney saw him. She used her power on him again because she was tired off the train. He's right, been known to do. Yeah, so, yeah, that was when Luffy was turned old by Bonney to escape the Pacifista, but then he later went into Gear 5 to fight Lucci, and then he got all shriveled up after that. But was that because of Bonney, or was that because of Luffy's Gear 5 ending? It might have been Luffy's Gear 5, because Luffy does get all shriveled when Gear 5 ends. We saw that in Kaido's fight, and we saw that here just in the last chapter. So, yeah. Nobody made any 34 jokes on Isekai 34. Well, you know. What if Katarina is actually there to kill or kidnap Saturn? She's going to have her work cut out for her, I think. I really appreciate your content. I live in Israel, and we are currently under attack. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, my heart goes out to you guys. Your content really helps us relax in times like this. Just if anything that, you know, gets you through the next day, I guess. I don't people say me that stuff sometimes. It's just like, I've gone through really tough times in my life, and your videos help me get through it. And I'm just like, really? Are you sure? Okay. I guess. Good. Thank you. I'm good. Okay. I just don't know how to respond to it. I really don't. It's just like, because it's like me talking. It's just like, it's just me chatting on YouTube. I don't know how that could ease people, but all right. All right. Sure. Okay. Whatever helps you. I'm not super convinced the Gorosei are all that strong. Really? You're not? Okay. I don't know. All right, sure. I guess they just have the ability to blow people's heads off, but only if they're minor characters that nobody cares about. It's a distraction. I guess anything's a distraction. I guess that is fair, because I'll watch YouTubers that are just like, you know, it's like, oh, this YouTuber is just not super popular, but I like them, you know, and just sit there and just, yeah, distract myself for a little while, yeah. Isn't that what life is at the end of the day? Just a sea of distractions to distractions until you die. Isn't that kind of what it is? Can Boa Hancock make Brook's soul to stone? Can Boa Hancock makes Brook's soul to stone? Yeah, Boa could turn Brook to stone. I don't see why she couldn't. Brook looks at her, obviously is going to be like, oh, hello there. Can I see your And then he just turns to stone, but he's also... But I think that would work on him. Yeah. Knowing Brook 100%. Oh, yeah. I had a theory that Eam was the original devil fruit Tiamat. Tiamat is the primordial ocean of chaos. Yeah. Also is the five-headed dragon from D&D, which is probably what most people know about him. But his soul... like his soul. Like the soul leaves? I don't think that would work. I don't think that would work. If Brook was in his body and it was bone, his bones would turn to stone. If his soul was out, I don't think that would work. Brook is already bone hard. Yoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Kizaru is going to die in this arc protecting Vegapunk from Saturn. That would be world-shaking news and would still turn it... I mean, it would be the world-shaking news, but from what we've seen with Vegapunk, I don't... It's so hard to... I mean, with what we've seen with Kizaru, it's so hard to read Kizaru. It is. I can't really tell. Like, I would say that... Sorry. I would say that Kizaru is not struggling with this at all. He's like, I gotta kill Vegapunk. It's what I gotta do. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it. You know, I want to say Kizaru's not really conflicted by this, but Kizaru's expressions don't really lend me to understand if he is conflicted by this. He might be really conflicted right now, like, I really don't want to do this. I just don't know what to do. And he might just not be showing it on his face. It might not be readily obvious, but he's still, like, on the fence. But I don't think that's the case. I have this feeling like, yeah, he doesn't want to do it, but orders are orders, and he's going to do it, you know? Kizaru is Adam Sandler. I've seen a lot of the fan art with that, yeah. What are you going to dress up as Halloween? So I don't know what I'm going to dress up as, like, but when we hand out candy in my little, like, area, my little development here, I have this cool fog machine, and I might get some, I'm taking my studio lights out that could change colors, and we might have, like, some stuff and hand out candy. That should be fun. Because I remember, like, when I was a little kid, trick-or-treating was always, in the town I grew up in, was always in the afternoon. It was always, like, at noon, which is shit, you know what I mean? Like, who wants to go trick-or-treating at noon on a Saturday, you know what I mean? It's like, you're supposed to go at night. But then later on, when I was a little older, probably, like, pretty getting close to, like, the age where I stopped trick-or-treating. In fact, this might be the last time I did trick-or-treat. Might have been around, like, 12 years old or something like that. But me and my dad went to another town, the town he grew up in, and that town did do it at night, trick-or-treating. And I remember going through the streets at night, and there was one house, this old, like, rickety house that had this big wooden porch, and they had a fog machine on the porch, and it was just, the fog was just billowing down off the porch and down the steps and into the street. And I remember, like, everybody running up and just, like, it was like the creepy kind of house, but he was giving out, like, really good candy and shit. So I was just like, oh man, that was a really good memory I have of, like, my childhood. Yeah. For Halloween, you should go as St. J. Garcia Saturn. Yeah, I'll dress up like a giant spider. Yeah. There is a, I can't remember her name. It's been years since I saw this, but do you remember Rhaenyra from Monster Musume? Of course you remember Rhaenyra from Monster Musume. Tekken, come on now. We remember Rhaenyra. There was a model or a cosplay model that made, like, an actual bottom half of a spider. Like, not just, like, you know, duct tape and staples. Like, it looked fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, and she was, like, the top half in Rhaenyra, and she cosplays as Rhaenyra, and oh my god, it was amazing. I don't think she could move in it. I don't think you could move. I think it was one of those kind of cosplays where you kind of have to, like, set up shop in one area of, like, the convention, and then you could, like, dress up and you take pictures and stuff, but you can't really move. Yeah. I can't remember her name, though. Do you think any more people would join the crew, or will it be capped at 10? At this point in the story, I think we could add one. I mean, maybe not. We could add one more person, I think, and it would be fine for the end of the story. I don't want someone to join the Straw Hats in, like, the last 20 chapters of the story. You know, that kind of, like, it's like last 20 chapters of the story. Okay, Foxy, you can join. Come on. And everybody's a Straw Hat now. He's like, no, I don't want that to happen. Maybe we could get one more person. And then, yeah, but I at this point, maybe just keeping it with 10 might be the better move, honestly. Jay looming over Frankie, giving off a Kainu donut vibes. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Frankie's going to try to fight back. Frankie, obviously, because Garcia's going to try to kill Vegapunk, because that's the prime directive, is to kill Vegapunk. So Frankie's going to fight back. So is Frankie even going to get an attack off, is my question. Is Frankie going to be like, radical pipsol, and then he just gets knocked away by Saturn or something? I have a question for you. If Luffy died on the rooftop, why didn't he smile? Because he was knocked senseless by Kaido's Kanabo. Ugh! You know, Luffy had a smile, and then the Kanabo comes down and just turned it into a frown. Yeah, that's how it happened. Couldn't he just blow Vegapunk up? Yeah, that has to be explained. The details of exactly how you could just blow somebody's head off. I mean, you could just say, like, Gon has a mom, right? He does, but she's not around. And only been mentioned once. But anyway, I mean, he lives with his Aunt Mito, who is his mother figure, but not his real mom. But yeah, that has to be explained. I said in the review it's possible that, like, because Marines all join the world government and they're maybe have blood samples of them on you know, ready, maybe that's the reason. So, like, if Saturn wanted to, he can, like, snap his fingers and, like, kill any member of the Marines at any time because they all have their blood samples, you know. Could be something like that. Hockey mastery, or you could just do the thing where it's like hockey overload in your head and it just blows up, and if you have good enough hockey, you won't die from that. Yeah, I was playing the old MW2 on Xbox. That was like a couple months ago. I got the urge to do some old school Modern Warfare 2, and I busted out my old Xbox 360 and I played it for a little while. Played it for a few weeks and got my fill, and I was like, all right, I'm good now. But it was fun to relive that a little bit. What if Chopper's Devil Fruit was a mythic zone? I mean, why not at this point? You get them. Actually, all zones are mythical zones. There's no such thing as a regular zone. Who's the worst father, Yasop or Gene? I did a video about this. I can't remember who I decided was the worst one. I think it was Gene. I think I said Gene was worse. because it's not that like Yasop doesn't want to see his son. He's just like Yasop. Well, okay, Yasop did avoid seeing. He's like, I'm not ready to see Usopp yet, but he seemed a little bit more like, oh, okay, I'm scared to see my son. It's not that, okay. When they were getting close to Wano, Yasop was not like, I don't want to see my son. He was, I'm nervous about seeing my son. I'm scared about seeing my son because I basically abandoned him. All right? Gene was actively avoiding Gon. He was like, I don't want to see him. You know? Yeah. Yeah, he's normal level bad dad. Yeah. Jean is Gon's mother. That there is actually, because in Greed Island, there's one of the cards that is the pregnancy stones that allows you to have a child and men to have children. And you know that Jean is the kind of guy that would do that kind of experiment with Nen, you know, because he likes to try everything. So Gon is just a clone of Jean. Do we think anyone is coming to help the Straw Hats, or is Bonney just about to awaken and solo? Yeah, Bonnie's gonna solo Saturn. That's pretty much confirmed. Yeah. When Gon lost his powers, his dad didn't give a fuck. Gene is like literally deadbeat dad. Gene is just like Gon is like talking to him, and they're like Gene is fine when it's like, oh, okay, I'll chat with my son for a little bit, but then I gotta get going. Dad, can I have your phone number? Oh, god damn it. It's going to be all the time with this kid, isn't it? All right, fine. Here's my phone number. And then Gon calls him later. He's like, oh, just call me if it's only an emergency. And then like a week later, Gon calls him, and Gene's looking at the phone, and he's like, son of a... Hi, son. How are you doing? Dad, my Nen won't work. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Later. Oh, I'm busy. Gotta go. Just like... Yeah, Gene would have... I mean, somebody would have to test the card. I'm just saying. Yeah. Oh, deadbeat, but still one of the strongest. Oh, yeah, we're not debating Gene's strength. I mean, he's genuinely one of the strongest Nen users in the whole story. It's just that he is a bad dad. Hisoka is more of a father to Gon than Gene. I am not even going to begin to unpack the wrong of that. I am not even going to begin. That is... Whew... Gene gave him a random number to call. No, he actually did it because Gon does call him later. Gon does call him on the phone later in the manga. It's not in the anime, but it's later on after the anime concludes. So Gene did give him his... Okay, what level of bad dad is he? He did give Gon his phone number. But he probably sends him to voicemail a lot. All right? Yeah. Leorio is Gon's real dad. I would say Leorio is more of like a big brother figure to Gon, but sure. Yeah, close enough. Keen is a better dad than mine. I'm sorry. Your name is just the Void. What do you think of the Eam is Umibozu? Yeah, I think I like the idea that Eam is Mother Nature. I like that idea for a while, but then if the Gorosei are devils that have the origin of devil fruits, then it wouldn't make sense for Eam to be Mother Ocean because Mother Ocean hates devil fruits. So there might be something with that, or it could be that it's not Mother Ocean. That's like they're all literally devils. Eam is the ocean god, is the Umibozu. Yeah. Kite was Gon's father figure. Yeah, that Kite, it was more Kite. I saw you in my dream. You came to Nepal and lived at my house. I was really happy, and that dream was the best dream ever. Okie dokie. Killua is a better dad than Gin. Listen. Most of the people Gon has fought are better dads than Gin. Biscuit is a better dad than Gin. Yeah. Tiamat or Lilith figure out a twist on Mary or Eve. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Because, the forbidden fruit. And, well, look, we're dealing with devil fruits, which are a play off of the forbidden fruit in Genesis. And we're also playing off trees, like the treasure tree, Adam, and the mother tree, Eve, the sunlight tree, Eve. So, Adam, Eve, forbidden fruits. Yeah, there's a tie back to this, all right? Yeah. And then Lilith joins the crew. Because Lilith, in the Jewish Bible, Lilith was Adam's first wife. And I believe she wanted to be on top during sex, and Adam was like, "Whoa, no, that's not going to work for me." And then God, hey, she wants to be on top, and God's like, "Oh, hell no!" And then just like, boom, it's like, "All right, I'll make another one. Tell you what, well, give me your rib, Adam. Just, okay, here's Eve. She will be a much more subservient. Here you go." And Adam's like, all right, now we're talking. Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, Eve came out of Adam, I believe. So Adam was made out of the dust or debris of the earth, or sometimes it's like God's breath that like creates him. I think Lilith was made in a similar way. So like they were like on equal terms, and yeah, we only do missionary here. Yeah. I don't think that was the exact story. Yeah, I think it was close enough. I think that was close enough. Yeah. It's a fun story to say. Lilith was dominant. She was. It's not from the actual Hebrew Bible. Look, it's a fun story to say. All right, so there it comes. Yeah, and it is from Jewish folklore. Did you grip the blue crab? Yeah, check it out. I got a blue crab. Somebody sent me, this is from Cameron, sent me a blue crab, which is Belle. So I have a Belle now. Yeah. Hi, Belle. Oh. What are the spoilers? Like what? Well, at the moment we were talking about Garcia from like the last chapter. So we're talking about stuff from the chapter's not officially out yet. That's not out until tomorrow. So technically speaking, everything I'm saying about chapter 1094 would be spoilers. I just want to make people know, don't click on this if you haven't read the chapter yet. She looks delicious. Dress up as Kai for Halloween. I'd have to get a tan, and I'd have to hit like the tanning beds like hard, and I really don't want to. Is it mechanical and not gigantic? I almost had a heart attack. A blue crab was in front of my door. Oh, that'd be awesome if I could just open my door and there'd be a crab outside, just like, hi. Like, oh, hello. Yeah, I can check super chats now with my new feature. Okay. Do you think Vegapunk will explain items eating devil fruits or will be pushed under the rug? Yeah, Vegapunk will explain it. Just not at the moment. We're kind of in the middle of a lot of serious shit. Vegapunk is literally staring down one of the Gorosei, who is a giant demon spider. So he's like, Quasar, Frankie, this seems like the right time to talk about how devil fruits... He'll explain it later after they've gotten away from Egghead, probably. When's the new Vito coming out? Probably. Well, I've already failed because that's a video every day in October, and I've already failed that. So there we go. Zoro manifests Ashura with Conqueror's Haki. Maybe Saturn manifests Ushioni similarly. We could tie back to that. Yeah, that would be a good connect back. Like, Zoro's always had like this demon aura about him. What if it wasn't always just his aura or just his murderous intent, or his domain expansion or whatever, his Bankai? What if it was actually something connected to a demon? That would be cool. Im is a king who has been possessed by a devil. That could be a direction, because Im did live during the time, the Nerona family. What do you think of Im is the Umibozu? Yeah, I talked about that one already. It's like I think it's more likely now than Im just being Mother Ocean. Chopper's a mythic zone, yeah. I answered that one. Luffy shriveling up. If Oda asked for your help finishing One Piece, would you help or prefer to remain surprised as a reader? I would not even think about doing that. I would like, okay, in this very likely series of events where Eiichiro Oda, the mangaka of the most popular manga in the world, this very likely series of events where he calls me up and he's like, hey, Tekking, I'm just stuck at this one point in the story. You know, just like on these very likely series of events, I'd be like, first of all, after like 20 minutes of me just being like, Oda. After about 20 minutes of that, I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't want to even, no, no, thank you. I really appreciate it, but no, I couldn't. Eam had the original Devil Fruit Tiamat. I mean, that I don't think. Well, 5-headed dragons split into 5 Gorosei, maybe. Will Saturn curb stomp Frankie, Sanji, and Bonney? Will he fight Luffy? I also guarantee that his cane does something. Oh, yeah, the cane does something. The cane definitely. Kane's gonna, like, he's gonna hit the cane on the ground, and it's gonna summon, like, a bunch of demons or imps or open up the gates of hell or some bullshit. Like, I don't think Frankie, Sanji, and Bonney are gonna die here. I think Saturn's gonna kill him, obviously. That's a little bit too far. But he's gonna have some weird magic powers that's gonna knock them all away, and so, you know, he could create a force field, and so Sanji and Frankie are gonna try to save Vegapunk, and something else has to happen. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Whoop. Could an inanimate object have a devil fruit that isn't a zone devil fruit? From what we know so far, no. Because in order to do paramecias, you got to have the green blood. And putting green blood into, like, an object, like taking a stapler. I will inject the Buki no Mi into this stapler. Like, you'd have to figure out some way to inject green blood into this, and it has to be organic, I think. Like, the Seraphim are artificial, but they're still made out of organic, you know, material. They're made out of DNA, lineage factor and stuff. What do you think of the theory that Vivi's ancestor, the queen that refused the world government, yeah, Lily, is actually Toki? No, I wouldn't like that. I want Toki and Lily to be separate people. Because Toki was already confirmed to be a member of the Amatsuki clan, which is another clan way back in the day that founded Wano. I wouldn't want Toki to be Vivi. Oh, Toki to be Lily. A head-popping bull spider doesn't look like scientific defense to me. Well, I don't think Jew Peter's ability is going to be like, agriculture cannon! It's like, you know, just corn cannon. You know, I don't think their titles are instantly going to, like, relate to their abilities. That would be funny, though. Rob Schneider is a stapler. I've been watching a lot of South Park. I started watching South Park, like, when I was in high school, when I started getting really into it. And it was, like, season 14, 15, 16 is when I was watching South Park. And I started going back. I watched the Creme Fraiche episode the other night. Like, Creme Fraiche. I'm going to put some Creme Fraiche. Creme Fraiche is actually really good. Do you think Eam is related to the shadowy figures in Thriller Bark, or do you think they show up soon? I don't know if they'll show up soon, but I think there is going to be a relation to them, yeah. Like, Eam is, like, the outcast child of these things or something. I don't know. South Park is awesome. I haven't watched South Park in the last couple of seasons, though. I'd have to go back and check. We all would love if he had the agriculture cannon. Fertilizer beam! You know, just like, yeah, that'd be fun. Bongcast, final episode when? It will be out. It will be out. I have to do, so I have a thing going on after this today, and then I still gotta do, I'm rewatching episodes 5 and 6 of the One Piece live action right now, because I've yet to do that breakdown, so I gotta do that. Got the last episode of Bongcast. I got a video I got to make about the last chapter after that officially comes out tomorrow. Then I got this Warlord video I got to do, which I'm really excited for now. So, yeah, I got like 4 or 5 videos that I have to get done this week at some point. I'll figure it out. Horrible at scheduling. Gorosei, open a bakery. I would love for them to open a bakery. Maybe Sanji will just be like, hey, guys, can you just open a bakery? And Garcia is just like, yeah, all right. He scuttles away and opens up a bakery. Yeah. Just a random dude. Yes. Since the Old Kingdom was so advanced, do you think they used lineage factor? Oh, yeah. All the technology we see on Egghead was probably utilized, if not more of it, was utilized in the Ancient Kingdom. I would see Vice Admiral Jonathan, I could see opening a bakery with his wife, Jessica, you know, because she was the chef. I could see that happening. How many Goroseis can beat Kaido? You know what? I don't really want to I can't make that distinction yet because we've seen we've seen Saturn blow up the head of a random Marine. That's the extent of the power we've seen from, and he can tank a Fire Fist in the face. So we gotta see how the Gorosei are gonna rank here. If they're like, they could just solo Yonko and Admirals by themselves, you know. Are you drawing today? No. I don't think I'll be having time to draw today. We're about an hour into this, and I got to get going in about half an hour. That random Marine had a family. He did. He did. He had an extended family, too. He had a lot of people that cared about him. Actually, his death is going to ruin the whole family now. It's like the family's going to be torn apart by him. Way to go, Saturn. Is the hole still there? Oh, yeah, it's still under there. I have not seen Goblin Slayer Season 2. I watched a clip of it last night. Crunchyroll uploaded a clip where the Goblin Slayer is returning home, and there's the cowgirl with the huge personality. And there's a guy with the Goblin Slayer, and he's just like, hey, are you his wife? And she's like, yeah, obviously. And he's just like, no, she's not. So, yeah, I love Goblin Slayer. I got to go back. I got to watch Season 2, yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 Tangent. Classes played. Beat the game yet? Yeah, I beat the game. I beat the game last week. I was a sorcerer. Beat the game. I'm playing it. I started another playthrough, but I haven't played it in like the last couple of days just because I think my brain just needs to take the break. But I started as a monk. As a monk on the second one. And I've never played a monk before, so this will be fun. Cowgirl. Yeah, so in Goblin Slayer, people don't really have names. I mean, they don't. I mean, like, they do, but they don't. Like, Goblin Slayer, we don't know his real name. Like, Goblin Slayer is his name in the show. Like, that's what you call him. Goblin Slayer wiki. Like, there's a character named Hero, and she's just Hero. Like, that's her name. Like, she, not because her name is Hero, but she is a hero, so everyone calls her the Hero. Like, that's just how it is. So, Goblin Slayer. Let's see, what names do we got here? We got Hero, Sword Saint, Sage, Sword Maiden, Captain, Female Wizard, Female Warrior. Okay, these are just like Dwarf Shaman, High Elf Archer, Witch, Lizard Priest, Spearman. Yeah, Priestess. Yeah, and then, yeah. That's, they have D&D class names. Yeah, that's their names. April Fool's One Piece D&D power scaling video. I had an idea for a April Fool's video a couple weeks ago, and I lost it. I don't remember what it was. I need to write shit down more. Yeah. Female Lizard Priest. But yeah, so there's a girl that's like, cowgirl, like, it's Goblin Slayer's like childhood friend that they grew up with, and she still lives on the farm, and she's not an adventurer, and she's always there. So yeah, that's Shovel Knight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually very similar to that. Yeah, Shovel Knight, Shield Knight, yeah. The Empress. Yeah, kind of stuff like that. Hey, Witch! Hey, who are you calling? Oh, you said witch with a W. Okay, I misheard. Any new super chats? Last two episodes of Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War are Core 2. I did my thoughts on episode 25, and then episode 26 will be the last episode, which I'm glad I'm taking time for because Shutara's Bankai is a lot to unpack, dude. It is not easy. Favorite CP9, CP0 member? Favorite CP9 member? I would probably say I really love Fukuro. I love Fukuro. I love Fukuro with a little zipper mouth. And CP0 member, I would probably say, like, if you're not including the original members of, I'll say Stussy. Actually, Stussy's great because she actually shares my birthday. April 24th. So there you go. I like that. She's the One Piece character that shares my birthday. I think one of the Oniwaban share my birthday too. I think it's the little girl that has like the flowers in her hair of the Oniwaban shoe. I think she also is born on April 24th, but Stussy was first. So Stussy is, yeah. My girlfriend hates Inaki's eyebrows in live action. Thought we saw you yesterday, and when I said to her, she said you were her biggest fan. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Kind of a weird criticism for Inaki, but okay. Thank you, though. Stussy. No teching. She stole your birthday. We're at war. There was that, I shared this on this is my Twitter profile now. Like, I've changed my Twitter profile page, and that has never, I had the same Twitter profile for like over 10 years, and I changed it recently because there's a manga that this person shared with me called Le Goût de Dieu, and it means the drops of God, and it's a manga about wine tasting. And I looked at that and I'm like at first I thought this was fan art. Like, I thought somebody was like sending me like, here's fan art, and I'm like, no, this is a real manga that exists, and people are like, you should sue. I'm like, okay, well, the manga has existed since 2004, so that makes it even weirder. You know what I mean? Like, this manga, this came out, this volume was released in 2004 when I was 11. Okay, so it's like somebody knew in 2004, like, I'm gonna grow up and have this suit and do the channel. Like, oh my god, it's Dio. I thought it was like dew because drops. So Dio, the Laguz de Dio. There you go. I know Dio is God in Italian. Italian and French, close enough. We'll just get into that. But yeah. But yeah, that's me. And then somebody else was sending me this. This is apparently a manga about like drug dealing. It's like Breaking Bad, except instead of meth, it's weed, which is kind of like, you know, not as big of a deal as meth, but maybe in Japan it is. I know in China it's like really illegal. But the drops of Dio. And I was like, yes. I want Venus Juro taking the taxes of death techniques. Yeah, that would actually be okay. I can see some applications of that, like Top Man being the justice godhead. That could work. Like, he makes two giant scales or something, like, or the hammer of justice. You know, like something of that. I could see that shit. And then with Venus Juro, I could see like, you know, I will collect your taxes as in your life, kind of like Big Mom's Soul Pocus a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah, people are just sending me various manga characters that resemble me, but like this one is eerily similar for how dead on this is. Like, it really is. Like, I've had fan art of me drawn that is like exactly like this. Like, let me go look at another piece of fan art that I got. So let me look at a piece of fan art that somebody's drawn of me. Because there's one that I have that looks very similar to this. Let's see here. Fan art folder. I know I have one. Oh, you know what this? No, you know what this looks like. I know exactly what this looks like. This looks like sue them. No. They were around before I was even dressing like this, and I even had my hair was not like this when I was 11, you know? I remember your thumbnails having it. I know what it is now. It wasn't fan art. I mean, it was fan art, but it was the fishing cod. It was the Dollar Tree manga story. That's what it was. It was Miko Leaf. Miko was the one that drew that. His style is exactly like this. And I have to remember where I put the fishing cod manga in which of my folders. Because I have, like, projects 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Geography. I have a separate geography is everything folder. I don't know if I can. I think I put it in some random folder, though. I don't think it's in my projects folder. Wait, is it? Is it? I don't know. If I can't find it, I can't find it. Am I the only one who thinks that style looks like the Death Note manga? Now, this would have been when Death Note... I think Death Note began serialization in 2004. So it would have been around there. Yeah. Yeah, I can't find it. It's on there somewhere, though. Do another comparison. Maybe I'll pull it up next time. If only I labeled one folder as what I look like in manga. I guess I should do that now. Yeah. Let's see. Death Note manga. Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah. I was thinking a lot about Death Note this past week because I was thinking about Persona 5. Persona 5, if you really think about it, is kind of the plot of Death Note. It's instead of the Death Note, though, they use cognition. So instead of killing people with a notebook, it's changing people's personality and cognition with going into their worlds, their little cognition areas and stuff like that. But there's like Akechi, who Akechi is like exactly like Light Yagami. Like Akechi is Light Yagami. Like, he's this high school detective that's really suave and very good looking, and everyone's just like, I am Akechi, everybody loves me. And then he has a moment where he's just like, I am insane, I'll kill everyone. It's like, so yeah, that's that. If you really think about it, go and play Persona 5 again and make the comparisons. Like, the Phantom Thieves become, like, well-known all over the world. Like, yeah, Phantom Thieves, change their personality, change who they are. When in reality, it's like, Kira, kill them with the notebook. Just like, yeah. So it's a little bit similar there. A little bit. The overall themes are there. Did I finally hear that? Yeah, Berserk is getting a good anime adaptation. Took a while. Only took how long it's been around? 30-something plus years? And the mangaka died? But, hey, we're finally getting a good adaptation. There we go. Death Note is a Persona 5 reference, yeah. Yeah. Do you know why Rome hates barbarians? Because they sacked Rome in 476, causing the end of the Western Roman Empire? I wonder why Romans would hate the barbarians, huh? Interesting. They called them the barbarians, by the way. I mean, they were like the Germanic peoples from the north. Don't think of the barbarians as like they were charging into Rome wearing nothing but like, furs, and they were like cavemen with like stone axes, like, ah! And they fell Rome. Like, no, the Romans called them barbarians, but they hate the Goths too. There was the Visigoths and there was the Ostrogoths. Visigoths were from the west, and Ostrogoths were from the east. Yeah. It's a fan-made Berserk adaptation, though. Oh, with bones and sticks. Yeah, they wiped out the Western Roman Empire with bones and sticks. Yeah. Yeah. Persona 5? Is that a reference to a One Piece character, Perona? Yes. Perona 5. Perona has her own video game franchise, guys. I don't know if you knew this. Heathens! Dave, barbarian, 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 Dave the barbarian, huge but a wimp. His sisters Fang and Candy are a princess and a chimp, not a monkey. His mom and dad are the king and queen of the lands of Utrogoff. They've left to fight an evil, and now Candy is the boss. Dave, Fang, and Candy, brave and bold they're not. They ain't the greatest heroes, but they're the only ones we've got. Barbarian, 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 barbarian. There you go. Visigoths were Romanian and Ostrogoths were in Ukraine. Damn it. I knew I was going to mess that up, but whatever. Partially right. They were from the west, but they weren't from the west. They were from the other direction. I'm not great at my Goths. I need to do more research into the Goth part of history. Bravo, bravissimo. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk about, since we're done with the chapter discussion at this point, we're already an hour and 10 minutes into this, and I'm gonna get going soon. But I do. Okay, I wanted to go back and bring up the Izuku mom thing. Okay, so Izuku has a mom. Inko is her name, and she's very. I really do feel bad. I mean, I like the fact that Horikoshi does focus on Inko's strife as an anime protagonist's mother, where her son is going out and constantly getting seriously wounded and maimed and broken bones and scars. And, Izuku's only like 15 when the series starts. He's like 16 right now. And so I feel really, really bad for Izuku's mom. Like, she has to see her son, like, fighting wars and shit, and just like, so it's rough for her. It's really rough for her. Okay. So it's mentioned that Izuku's dad works overseas. He has a fire quirk. He can breathe fire, and he works overseas. That's like the only thing we know about Izuku's dad, all right? Which I feel so strange about this, because all the crazy shit that has happened to Izuku, and he never comes home to visit him. Like, what the actual fuck, Izuku's dad? Like, I understand if Izuku's dad is working in the United States or in Europe. That's a far distance from Japan. I get that. You can't just go home every time Izuku stubs his toe. But, honey, so Izuku started school and he was in class and a bunch of terrorists invaded the class and tried to attack him and he's brutally wounded. All right, well, I'll call him and let him know I'm thinking about him. Honey, our son fought a fucking serial killer and almost got killed by him. Yeah, well, that's just kids these days, I'll tell you what. Just like, honey, our son went to a training camp out in the woods and the same terrorist organization attacked him again, this time resulting in him seriously wounding both of his arms. They don't know if he'll ever control his arms again. Yeah, well, you know how it goes. Boys will be boys, I'll tell you. He never comes. Maybe at some point you'd be like, all right, I need to come home and make sure my son's okay. Hey, boss, can I have a leave of absence? My son got attacked by terrorists. Can I go back to Japan for a couple weeks to make sure my wife and kid are all right? No! Back to work with you! All right, honey. Sorry, I asked my boss for the time off. He won't give it to me. I'm sorry. Just like, oh my God! The only way I can rationalize this is that Izuku. Nah, boy's fine. He's just such a drama queen. The doctors say he might not be able to use his arms again. Doctors, what do they know? The only way that I can rationalize this is that Izuku's dad does come back to Japan for like Christmas and his birthday, but we just never see it in the manga. But it's never mentioned either. Like, it would be one thing. Like, let's say after Christmas break, Izuku's going back to class and he's talking to Ida or something, and he's like, oh, hi there, Midoriya. Did you spend your Christmas with your family? And Izuku could be like, yeah, my dad visited for a couple days. It's been a while. I haven't really seen him. And that could have been it. And it could have been like, oh, okay, at least he does come back every once in a while. Yeah, that's always now after the war, I get, honey, there was an actual legitimate fucking straight up war that our son fought in. He fought in a war and fought against a serious villain in the sky and was seriously brutally wounded. Like, one arm and two legs are mangled beyond recognition. They don't know if he's gonna make it. Now, at that point, it does make sense because travel restrictions, because it was a legitimate war, travel restrictions around Japan were locked down, so you can't come in and out. So that I could understand. And why he hasn't visited since, because after the collapse of society after the war, I mean, then he can't get in. Like, that makes sense. But all the other times throughout the story, never shows up. He fought in a war. That's good for the bones. Don't worry. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. Has anybody ever watched the Cyanide and Happiness show? Cyanide and Happiness, they do the cartoons on YouTube, but they also had the Cyanide and Happiness show. And there was a episode, there was a sketch about this guy called Coach Murphy. And just go watch it. I think it is actually on YouTube because they uploaded the stuff to YouTube later on. Go and just type in like Cyanide and Happiness Coach Murphy. Like that's Izuku's dad. That's Izuku's dad. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Izuku, that I couldn't be there when you fought a serial killer, but I understand you made it through okay. I'm proud of you, son. I'm sorry I couldn't come down when you mangled both arms fighting a giant muscular villain. I'm proud of you, son. Oh, man. Yeah. Maybe his dad is the real last boss, yeah. Izuku's dad is Airplane Dad. Yep. Or Izuku's dad. Hey, maybe Izuku's dad. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. What's another way Horikoshi could spin this? What job does Izuku's dad have? Because that's never been explained. It explains he works overseas. Never explains what his job is. Is Izuku's dad like the fucking chief secretary of like the Department of Defense or something? Is Izuku's dad like in the higher ups of like the European like government or something like that? Okay, if that's the spin, I can kind of get it. Yeah. He's on the Red Hair Pirates overseas. He's a manga artist. He works 500 hours a week. Okay, that would do it. Yeah. Been watching the channel since 2014. Got back to watching the Bleach reviews to see what changed. Thanks for all the laughs. Never got a chance to say thanks till now. Thanks, Too Cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You've been a fan since 2014. That's almost 10 years now. Oh, my God. They aren't rich enough for that. Well, yeah, that is a good point. Like, they do okay. Like, you know, their house is all right. It's not like, but it's, yeah. I feel like if Izuku's dad was, like, really higher up in the government or had some really important job, then again, they can afford to go to UA. UA does not look like a cheap school to me. Yeah, Izuku got admitted, you know, with the test and everything like that, but I don't know how this works. Well, then again, I'm thinking about this from a very American perspective where you got to pay for school. You know what I mean? I think in Japan it's different. So, yeah. Yeah. I think My Hero will have a spin-off series. I mean, it already does, technically. There are some, but, yeah. Depends on how much money his dad sends home. All might be funding it. Yeah, that's true. Do we know anything else about Izuku's dad? Like, hold on a minute. Okay, My Hero Wiki. Type in Inko. Inko Midoriya. Okay, we actually know his name. His name is Hisashi. I didn't even know that. I didn't know we knew his name. His name is Hisashi. Hisashi Midoriya. At some point in his life, Hisashi married Inko. Okay, we knew that. Who eventually gave birth to their son Izuku. All right, we're going along so far. He took a work post abroad. His current status is unknown. His quirk allows him to breathe fire. That is it. His name, Hisashi, roughly means a long time ago in reference to the sentence Hisashi Buri, which means it has been a while since I last saw you, so that's the joke. In 2018, Horikoshi stated he will be revealed at one point. Okay, so Horikoshi did say at one point he will be revealed. Probably in the very last chapter. In the very last chapter, as Izuku is giving the speech, the narration through the entire story of, and that's how I became the greatest hero. And Izuku's like 35 years old and he's married to Uraraka and they have a child that's starting elementary school. Boom. That's when Hisashi shows up. Son, I finally got time off work. Hi, Dad. End of story. Oh, man. Yeah. Will Uraraka and Izuku produce a child that collapses reality? Yeah, that could be a thing. Because Uraraka has the gravity, and Izuku has black whip. So maybe like they just make, and then the Quark devastation apocalypse theory, where the longer down the lines, the Quarks get harder to control. Izuku and Ochako's kid is just black hole. Just like, oh god, I can make singularities in the palm of my hand. It's just like, oh no, that's scary. Protagonist mother is practically ecstatic whenever her son gets involved in yokai yakuza nonsense. There's ways they subvert the trope in very clever ways, because it's one of those things, it's such a popular trope that's used so often, people become self-aware of it and are like, okay, this is always the case. You know, the mother is always gone. All right, tell you what, we're going to do a flip on this. We're going to have the mother be present, and she's actually, you know, they even made this a point in that one isekai, when the guy gets isekai'd with his mom, you know, my mom's 2-hit special attack is better than yours, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's even them subverting it, you know what I mean? Yeah. 13 already did that. Yeah, but it's gonna be, yeah, but 13's is like, 13's is more of just like a gravitational, like a vacuum that just sucks you in. Like, it's not creating an actual black hole, like, in your hand, you know? That's like something that can break reality. 13's is just like suck things into it, you know? And I think she calls it black hole just because like it sounds cool. You know what I mean? 13, we actually got 13's appearance after like so long. Yeah. Yeah. 13. She looks cute. Sounds kinky. How do you feel about the new Shonen Jump series? I don't even know which. Let me check. Let me look at some of these new Shonen Jump series that are out there. All right, what do we got here? We got, oh, Beat and Motion. I've read a couple chapters of Beat and Motion. I actually kind of like it, yeah. Shoujo Null. I've never heard of that. Wild Strawberry, Dark Gathering. That looks creepy as hell. The kid on that looks creepy. Gokura Kugai? No. Seraph of the End. That's not. I think these are. That's been out for a while. Seraph of the End. It's on chapter 130. Yeah. I think those are the newest. Oh yeah, Kagurabachi is only on chapter 3. Yeah. I gotta check this out. Every now and then when I'm bored, I'll go and like look up some new manga. That's how I got into Akane no Banashi. I was just bored one day and I was like, let me read a brand new manga. And it's like Akane no Banashi. It's like, okay. And really like it. Really like Akane. Yeah. I gotta get caught up on a lot of these. I actually haven't been reading manga last couple of weeks. I've been skipping some chapters. I should need to go back and check it out. Have you thought about what I'm going to do after Animal Facts? I will travel to a distant star in a garden, and I will reflect on my actions. That's what I will do. I will Thanos it. I will Thanos. I stream it on Twitch, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series with Briggs. I stream that on Twitch now with him. Yeah. Yeah. But, I gotta get done with Z. I gotta get done with Zebra Facts, and then we'll be done. Yeah, a lot of people have been suggesting that series. I gotta check that out. But I think, yeah, it's about noon now. It's about 1:30, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, I got to get going. Let me just go through the super chats one more time. God, it's so nice they have this feature now. It's just easier for me to go over all of them. Hey, Teching. Hey. I think I answered, actually, most of these. Last 2 episodes, answered that one. I finally got my dad to read it, but he quit at Skypiea. Also, favorite CP. Oh, I answered that one, yeah. I mean, hey, One Piece isn't for everybody, you know. It's a long story, too, so, like, I can understand, like, if you started reading or watching One Piece and, like, after 100 episodes, you're like, I need to take a break for a while. Like, I could get it. You know, like, I do. Yeah, I think I answered all these ones, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for the super chats and for hanging out. This week, what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow's what, Sunday? Probably just going to do the follow-up to the chapter tomorrow. So probably tomorrow is going to be a video on, like, probably Garcia. probably just talk about that. Just kind of break that down. Like the circle and the form he takes and some other yokai facts. Probably going to do that tomorrow. Then I'll probably see if I can work on that Boncast thing. And I still got to do 5 and 6. I'm really going to try to get episodes 5 and 6 for the live action done this week. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what's up on that. I'll do Bleach episode 22 after I get done with the season. After I get done with it, because we're on break now, so I don't have to worry about another episode coming out. Like, oh man, I'm getting all behind. It's just like, nah, just one more episode, the finale, and then I can take my time with the next one whenever I want to do it. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that's the thing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Wow, we almost 1,000 people in here. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, that'll be up this week. One Piece D&D is this Thursday. Yeah, it's on the 12th. Friday the 13th. Here's an announcement. I'm gonna be doing a stream with Spooky, with 2 Spooky on Friday the 13th. I think we're gonna do it on his Twitch channel, 2 Spookster. Where we're just going to talk about, I think the original idea was to talk about Friday the 13th movies, which we're going to, but we're probably going to just branch it out to like horror movies in general because it's October and it's Friday the 13th. So if you like horror movies, Friday the 13th specifically, come on down to Spooky's Twitch. Make sure to follow him over on there. And Friday, and I'll put a tweet out and I'll mention this as well, when we do it. But I think it'll be Friday, probably around it'll be in the afternoon. I don't know the exact time yet. But that's what we're going to be doing that day. So that should be really fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And I hope you all have a great Saturday. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, Team 4 Star is doing the commentaries, and their new commentary comes out on Saturdays. So that's what I'll be watching later today. That's something I always look forward to every Saturday is the new commentary for Dragon Ball Z Abridged. So that'll be out later, and then I'll have a video out for tomorrow for you guys. Okay. So, yeah. Later, everybody. Bye. Derp. Gerp.